Part of my challenge with beekeeping is the equipment that I've chosen. Over time I have collected 3 different sizes of frames. 3 different sizes of boxes that the frames go in. This was unintentional. It really is a mistake that can be avoided. If you're not a beekeeper yet, here's a piece of advice. Choose your sizes of equipment wisely. I have the typical deep 9-inch frame, then also a 7-inch medium and a 6-inch medium. Notice they're just barely different. Now the reason this is a problem is because sometimes I go out and I think I'm taking out the correct frames, and I get out there and I end up in a mess because I have maybe some that are too small, and then you end up with a lot of comb on the bottom, or worse yet, you go out there with some that are just slightly too big and they won't even fit. Out here at the hive, on this hive number 4, I have a 7-inch medium and a 6-inch medium on top of a 9-inch deep. This is important for me to know because today I'm going to try to take that top one off and then prepare that middle one, the 7-inch, prepare it so that they can get through the winter. I'll explain when I get inside. Going into the winter, I want to make sure that they don't have too much room, too much space that they need to heat up with their body heat. This top box still, they haven't done anything with it. It does have some honey, 5 frames of honey, but there's also 5 frames that I've taken out. And they've done absolutely nothing. They've done absolutely nothing with preparing any comb or anything. These sit completely empty, so they don't even need this top box. We're going to take this top box off and leave it off for the winter. Notice my queen excluder is coming off with it, and that's okay because I won't need it. They have a lot of honey down in this second box. This is the 7-inch box. We're going to take some of that honey out and replace it with empty frames. If any of these frames have brood, I'm going to leave it in here. That's the baby bees. This appears to all be just honey and pollen, no brood. Now I'm pretty sure based on the last inspection that this one has some brood, so we're going to check that out. Yeah, see there's brood on the bottom of that. Down here on the bottom you can see there's some capped cells. Looks different than the honey on the top. So this one's going to stay. I am wearing the thicker gloves this time. These are the, I think they're 6 mil, so they're supposedly thicker and harder for the bees to sting through. Now there is some brood on the bottom of this one as well. I don't think you can see it very well, but what looks like the top to you now is the bottom of the frame, and there's some brood down in the bottom of that. So I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to look at some of these outside frames. This one is strictly honey. This frame is all honey as well. You can see there's no brood. There's a little bit of pollen packed in there, but no brood, no eggs, no larvae, no baby bees. Check this one out here. Again, pollen and honey on that side. Pollen and honey on this side. I brought out 5 empty frames. I think that's what I'm going to shoot for, is 5 empty frames. And I'm going to let them keep 5 of their full frames. So I'm going to check this one over here. It should be the least likely to have any brood. I do like wearing these gloves. It's nice having the dexterity. I like being able to feel the bees. I think I'm a little less likely to smash them. With the leather gloves, I can't even feel the bees tapping me. Like, they tap before they sting. I think they're just letting me know, hey, you're getting close. And now I can feel that. And I was correct. This one has no brood, just lots of good honey. Now I'm going to checkerboard, go every other one with full and empty. So we're going to pull one of these full frames over to the edge and place an empty 7-inch frame. It has lots of comb on it. Some of that, what looks like wax moth, that's from before, but these were in the freezer, so there should be no wax moth living in there. Those little trails I'm talking about that go through there. So we'll put an empty one, and then we'll slide over a full one. Another empty. I think I have a unique opportunity over some beekeepers, because I don't suspect that most beekeepers record the process of their beekeeping and then watch it over and over as they edit. At this point here in the editing process, I started to question my own methods and my own thought process. Let me explain something to you. When I'm out at the apiary and it's August, I am dripping with sweat. My glasses won't stay on my face, and it's hot. I can feel myself heating up. I don't have the vented suit, so I don't always think clearly. When I got in the editing process and I started seeing myself put the empty ones in the full one and the empty one, I started to question, is that right? Is that okay? Should I have put all the empty ones in the middle? Because that's the typical pattern of a beehive, is that the brood nest is all built out from the middle. It kind of grows in the shape of a ball in the middle of the hive. I question whether I should have just put all the empty ones in the middle and put the honey frames on the outside. But it's done now. I'm several days past that. I'm editing now, so let's just see how it turns out. I really like this hive. The genetics, the temperament, just seems to be really good. I don't fear for my life with this one. And we're going to end up with an empty one on the very outside. Now, being that it's all drawn comb, that's going to help give them a head start. Give the queen lots of places to go ahead and start laying eggs. So what we've done in this hive is reduce that top, because it was a lot of real estate they didn't need, and we took some of the honey out and gave them extra space to lay their eggs and put more honey in if they want. We don't have to put the queen excluder back on, because we're not going to be extracting any more honey out of this hive for this year. We will be keeping the towel traps for the beetles. Just putting those across the hives before we put that inner cover on. We'll keep an eye on hive number 4 for the rest of the season, but really, unless there's a big flow, meaning that there's lots of food, pollen, nectar available, they're just going to be preparing themselves for the upcoming winter months. And I think that what we've done here, by reducing them to 2 boxes, but making sure they have plenty of honey and space for brood, and extra space if they want to put more honey, then they should be well prepared for this winter. But I forgot about the bees that were up here in this top box. So I'm going to take the inner cover back off, shake these off, and then put the honey in the box that I can take back to the house. I did go on to inspect hive number 5, and I'll probably prepare that video for the next video. Maybe it'll come out Friday, or maybe I'll just let that one go because it was similar to hive 4. We'll see how that turns out. But I want to thank you so much for sharing this time with me here on the Daddykirbs farm as I go through this adventure and this journey of learning beekeeping. Many of you who are beekeepers love to give your contribution and your advice in the comments below, which I completely appreciate. My thumbs up to you is for that, and to keep doing that. If you would like to give me a thumbs up on this video, that would let YouTube know that you appreciate what's going on here on the Daddykirbs farm. For those of you who are subscribers, thank you. If you are not yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. That way you can get updates when I upload something new. It's been a real pleasure sharing this episode with you. I'll talk to you soon.